All right, hey, it's June 17th, Wednesday, down here in Lake of the Ozarks, bringing you a weekly fishing report. Lake level is 659.40. It's about the same as what it was last week, I think, a couple inches lower maybe. Not a big change. Current, let's say today they pulled quite a bit of current, but it was kind of all over the place. It wasn't real consistent. We had from 17,000 to 35,000 throughout the day. You know, I know sometimes they'll really crank it up for power generation, you know, and not necessarily trying to control the water level, but more so, you know, generate power. So a lot of times midday they'll really crank it up. That's kind of what happened today. You know, so we're still running a lot of current through the lake. It is full. It's a full pool. Water color looks real good everywhere. Did a full day trip out of the glaze today. Spent a couple hours in the glaze, and the glaze looks really good. Real good, kind of a clear look, a real good looking color. As we got out into the main lake, you know, it was stained. It was pretty stained, not heavily stained, but a lot more stained than the glaze. Probably 2 foot visibility. You know, water temp. Your water temp's up there around 80 degrees now. You know, between 76 and 82 probably. You know, last night was kind of cool, so this morning it was in the upper 70s, but then it heated up throughout the day. You know, third week of June. Down here, they're running current. It's post-spawn. The fish are really starting to feed. Fishing was really good. Had a full day today, 2 guys. And I think they were counting, they had up around 40 fish today. You know, probably only 8 keepers, but a lot of action, a lot of fish. You know, so it makes for a good day, a lot of catching. And we used several different baits today. And last week, kind of all the same baits that we use today. There's a lot of baits you can use right now and catch fish down here. Man, in the mornings earlier, we still was able to run some topwater. We ran some spooks around some points, some bigger, steeper banks with some big rock. The spook produced a couple decent fish, solid fish, and then a shaky head just thrown right up to the bank, the steeper banks, kind of around boulders, bluff ends, maybe some shelves of bluffs work good. And that's kind of in the morning. You know, once that sun gets up and the waves start hitting against the bluffs or the steeper bank, it kind of pushes them fish off. You know, we've kind of got a little bit of a shad spawn, bluegill spawn going, so those fish are up shallow early. And the fish are up in there feeding on them. So that's why early in the morning, you know, you can catch them fairly shallow. You know, but like I said, once the waves get up and the sun gets up, the fish will move back. Will start moving out. Probably today, man, to pick one bait and say that was it, I can't do that because I've got about 10 rods out here, and we used every one of them today and caught fish. Everything from, you know, just the same old 1/4 ounce shaky pro head with a Zoom mag finesse worm, you know, green pumpkin, just throwing it up on these points, bluff ends, and just kind of just dragging the thing along the bottom, hopping it a little bit, and you know, that'll catch fish. You know, anything from, you know, 13 inches to 4-pounders, you can catch them on it. We switched back and forth from that particular one, and then also the Zoom mag trick worm, the longer one. You know, as post-spawn, sometimes they want the bigger one. Still throwing it on a 1/4 or 5/16 ounce head. Just targeting points, drop-offs, and just basically, like I said, just throw it out there, let it go to the bottom, and just drag it along, and make sure you feel everything that bait's doing. You know, on those, I'm throwing 15-pound fluorocarbon on a 7-foot rod, 8-to-1 lose reel is pretty much your perfect setup for that. And then a couple other baits that we were using for last week anyways, and today real good. That has been good is this 5/8 ounce Weezy jig. This football jig was designed really well. It has a real stout weed guard, which is really good for when you're dragging through these rocks and anywhere where you might have some brush. You get to that brush, you just can continue to drag it. It'll come through that brush real well. This is just a peanut butter and jelly color with the green pumpkin menace on the back. Also, I throw it on our Crocky Gator muskrat green pumpkin. You know, just a bait that's you know, kind of got a lot of movement, a lot of bigger pinchers, bigger legs on it that moves a lot of water, and rig it on the back of the jig like that. The keepers are them wire keepers. You push it on her, squeeze it on her, and it holds it on her. You use the same trailer all day long with this jig. It's just been working really well. It worked real well today. This is one of the baits that it doesn't matter if you fish all the time, a couple times a year, whatever. It's, you know, you just throw it out on these points and you just drag it. That's all you're doing with this bait this time of year. You just drag along, feel every single rock, everything that's going on, and you're just looking for those rock patches, the bigger rocks. You drag along where it's dragging real easy, and you get to a cluster of rocks that you can feel it kind of hanging in there and coming through them bigger rocks, maybe a little brush, and that's where most of the bites been coming from. I'd say the best bite's been probably from 12 to 20 foot of water, you know, depending on sun, current, a couple different things. You just kind of experiment, you know, throw the bait up there and say 10 foot of water and just drag it out until you get a couple bites, figure out how deep you are, and you can pretty much jump around the points. Some of the longer points seem to be real good right before they drop off into some deeper water. Seem to be probably the best type of points. Also caught several on the 10-inch Berkeley Power Worm, Tequila Sunrise on a 5/8 ounce Shaky Pro head. This particular Shaky head has a great big 6-ounce EWG hook for when you're throwing these big 10-inch worms, or also we're throwing brush hogs on them. Just a green pumpkin. We're taking that marker, that chartreuse marker die, and marking up the end tentacles and the legs there, just to give it a little more of a bluegill style pattern, and also rigging it on this same 5/8 ounce head. Kind of same deal. I kind of like working bluff ends with these big worms and that brush hogs. Even some bluff shelves with it, and then always you've got these long points. It just, you can tell they're little flatter points, and it's a longer tapering point that just kind of gradually goes on out, almost makes a big ridge, and you can just throw up on top of that ridge and pull the worm, the Weezy jig, brush hog, shaky head, whatever. Just drag it over these ridges. You want to throw into the against the current, so it's coming with your bait's coming with the current, so it's a natural presentation as it comes over the ridges of these points, and bring it off of there. You know, seems to be the best way, you know, to get a lot of bites. You know, the crankbait's producing, you know, just a 6XD. You know, that bait will go down, I don't know, 12, 14 foot. And you kind of want to work that if you're seeing some shad schools, you know, work around them shad schools, trying to bring that crankbait through the shad, just below them where these fish are kind of hanging out, watching wounded shad fall down, come down, break away from the pack, and that's what they're feeding on. And that's all you're trying to do with your crankbait. Just bring it through them shad pods, and you know, kind of disrupt the whole shad school, and then that's where your fish are coming in and grabbing the crankbaits. Your swim baits starting to work. It's still kind of a hit and miss, but it's just a 5-inch Zoom swimmer. I rig it on a 3/4 ounce Crocky Gator reaction jig. It's got a great big 6/0 hook, you know, round big stout hook. It's got a structured head, so it'll come through stuff and swims perfectly. You know, that's I throw this on a 7'3" rod with a 6-to-1 loose reel with 17-pound test. You know, on that swim bait, just throw it out, same points, same drops. I tend to try to throw that more on an actual channel drop off, like you'll be throwing up on a point where you might have 15, 18 foot of water, throw it up there, let it sink, hit the bottom, and just really slow. Just enough to get that tail to move. And the goal here is to try to bring it out that point until it intercepts with the break off that goes in the channel. Just bring it over that. And on the live scope, we're just watching the swim bait swim along, and as it breaks right at the channel break and starts coming up, that's where your fish are coming up and hitting it. And that's actually the same way if you're not fishing a long ridge, you're with the football jig, the 10-inch worm, you're kind of doing the exact same thing, working that bait out to where it breaks off into the channel. The fish will hang out right there. You know, man, you know, we caught them on flukes today, just super fluke, pearl super fluke, 5/0 hook, number 4 treble stinger, throw by a windy dock, windy corners, and you know, he'll catch a lot of fish. Not a great big ones, but actually caught you know, a couple 17 inches on it today. You know, and you know, that's a lot of fun. Anybody can do it. You just throw it out there, let it sink a couple foot, and just keep it working. And it's just a reaction bite. You know, you catch fish on it all day long. It doesn't matter. Bright, sunny, cloudy, it doesn't matter. Actually, the sun's better. It pushes more on these corners of these docks. So, you know, other than that, man, you just, right now, you can go out and pretty much do whatever you want and catch fish. Most of the fish that I'm catching are more main lake oriented. Maybe some big secondary points, splitter points. You know, just start on the points and kind of work around these points, out the points, and see where the fish are positioned any given day. You know, as the bluegills start to get more in the spawn, you'll be able to go to the very backs of pockets where these bluegill beds are and throw like a spook, work a spook right over the top of them, little square bills and things. That's still coming a little bit. It's kind of starting. But basically, if you're going out right now, just grab you a shaky head or a 10-inch worm or a wheezy jig and just throw it up on these points and just drag it, feel every single rock. That's the biggest thing, is it just, you know, let it come over every single rock and feel exactly what that bait's doing. If you don't fish a lot, or you're not real experienced, or you bring kids down, or you're just having trouble figuring you know, how to work these baits, one of my favorite deals is just get you a spinning rod and reel and spool it up with some yellow 30-pound braid, and then put you about a 10-foot leader of 12-pound fluorocarbon on there. Put you a shaky head on there and throw that baby out, let it sink all the way to the bottom, and do the exact same. That braid's really sensitive. You feel everything really good. It really will bring you into tune of what's going on down there and how the fish will pick it up. You can feel everything. When you quit feeling it, the fish has it picked up, or you'll feel a pretty good little tick. So it don't matter who you are, you know, or how much you fish. This is a perfect little rig to come down and just catch fish. Just like I said, it's just this is a 7-foot spinning rod with a spinning reel, and it's 30-pound braid, but yellow. And that yellow, what that does is it allows you to really see that line. And when a fish will pick that bait up and swim with it, you can really see it. When they hit it, you'll see that line dart. It's just really good visual way to catch some fish. It's great for, like I said, if you don't fish a lot, you're just getting into fishing, kids fishing, whatever. That yellow line, the yellow braid with a shaky head, you really can't hardly beat it as far as an easy way, a simple tactic to catch fish down here. So that would probably be my, you know, well, it would be my #1 go-to bait is just a shaky head. Either this one or the mag trick worm, a little longer one, and just throw it up on points and just drag the thing around, and you're going to catch some fish. So Basically, other than that, guys, lake's in great shape. The fish are biting. Things are good. That's pretty much all I got. I'm sorry I missed last week. Just really busy with a lot of things. Croc Gators just, we're working late nights. Just trying to keep up with the orders. Be patient if you have orders in and we haven't got right on them, but we are getting them. And actually took a couple days and went and enjoyed some time away with some good friends, some fishing, some golf, had a lot of fun. But if you get a chance just to take a break from all this chaos and stuff going on, just go do it and enjoy friends, family. It don't matter. Just go and enjoy life, So don't get caught up in all this stuff going on, because it's just whatever. I don't want to get too much into it, but I think you know what I'm saying. So either way, come on down to the lake, get out there fishing. Tie you on a shaky head, drag around, catch some fish, have some fun. So until next week, guys, we'll see you.